Okay, so my name is Rebecca Griffith, and I have always loved to draw since I was little. And really, what got me started into really focusing on drawing, it was my love for horses. And when I was probably about like 6 or 8, I wanted to do everything that involved horses. I had an aunt that owned horses, so I was riding them frequently, and I wanted just to learn about the tackle and what they ate. I wanted everything to do with horses. So that included drawing them well. And I had this friend that was a few years older than me, and she could draw horses perfectly. They were just like the muscular, like everything was just perfect about them. And myself, being very competitive, I wanted to be able to draw horses like she did. So that really spurred me on to practice and to really get the proportions right. I had this doodle sketch. I don't know if they have those anymore, but you could draw on it and then you could like swipe this bar and it would erase. And I just remember filling the whole page over and over again with like the head of the horse or the back of the horse and erasing and going again, 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 trying to get it right. So that's what led me into drawing a lot. And I was homeschooled through 8th grade. And then I went to public high school and I had more art classes there. I had a teacher my freshman and sophomore year, Mr. Baum, and he taught drawing. And I always thought that there were a lot of other kids that were better at drawing than I was. And I was like, oh man, I was kind of nervous going into it. But with his class, that really birthed a love for me, even more so for drawing. And that was definitely a really special time. And during high school is really when I just realized that there was nothing else I wanted to do. Like, this is what I want to focus on. So I decided I wanted to pursue that in college as well. And I grew up in Colorado. I probably should have mentioned that in the beginning, but this was all like in the Denver area. And I went to Western State University, which is in Gunnison, Colorado. It's a really, it's a town, small town in the mountains. And I was there for 4 years, and I got a BFA, which is a Bachelor of Fine Arts in painting. My focus was oil painting. I also got a minor in business. And so there I was really focused on developing a body of work, a series of work. And the teachers there were amazing, and that's really why I stayed there, was just the faculty there. It was a small department, and so there was a lot of one-on-one opportunity with those teachers, and you became really close with them. So it was a regular thing for me to go to my teacher's house for dinner after class, to babysit their kids, to hang out with them, and that was so special. And I know that that was just a huge part of me succeeding so much in college, was just having that close connection with my teachers. I was also, through that school, I was able to study in Florence, Italy for a month, and that was an amazing, amazing opportunity. I miss it so much, but that was just so cool being able to see just all the artwork and just so much of the culture, and then that kind of influences my work as well, too. So I graduated from Western State University in 2016, so that's about 4.5 years ago, so that's kind of crazy. And since then, after I graduated, I moved back to the Denver area. And for a couple years, I was focused on the gallery scene, so I was doing lots of juried shows and group shows in the Denver galleries. And then in May of 2018, I got married. I became Mrs. Griffith, and that moved me over to Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. So from there, I was again focusing on the galleries. I was also doing homeschool teaching. And the body of work that I've been doing since then, for the past like 2 to 3 years since graduation, that has really been focused on this idea of achieving this inner stability and peace, kind of this tranquility. And a word that I've used a lot to describe my work is equanimity, which means having calmness, evenness of composure, even in the middle of a difficult situation. And so what inspires me to paint an image is something that kind of has that feel of peace to it. And that's just a thread that has woven throughout my work for years. So the work that you see in this show, a lot of it is either photos that I've taken. There's some that people have taken of myself if I'm in the paintings. Sometimes I do still life as well, but it's mostly photos that I've taken. And it's all just about that kind of that spark, that stillness that I feel. And oftentimes I find that in the landscape, especially just like growing up in Colorado and being in the landscape a lot. There's just this sense of peace that is just embedded in the landscape that you can't really find anywhere else. So that's definitely something that comes up in my work quite a bit. And I also like to paint animals and people in the landscape. And especially with people, I find it really interesting when you paint people that it just instantly is kind of this heightened level of humanity, and it kind of traumatizes it, because whenever someone sees like a painting of a person, it's like they can automatically kind of relate to it, more so than a painting of like a horse or a landscape. So I enjoy playing with that idea, bringing the people into the landscape. So I've done that as well. And really my hope for viewers when they see my work is not only to kind of get a sense of that peace, that joy, that stability that is in my work, but also when they leave the gallery to kind of see that a little bit more in their own life. So that's what I'm working on, and I'm actually moving back to Colorado December 23rd of this year. So that will be really exciting, and my family is all there, so it'll be a real exciting move for me. And